Good evening. I know it's very late in the evening and we're all quite tired, but bear with me for a couple of minutes. I'm going to be quite short. So, as all the speakers earlier have said, avoid startup, avoid family money, avoid taking friends and family ka ashirwad hi kafi hai. I think I come from a very different school of thought. I'll share that with you. But before I'll share my journey, it's been entwined with education, professional experiences, and a lot of personal growth. I'm a bioengineer by my undergraduate degree at Cornell, and then I went to Blackstone doing real estate. Nothing of my undergrad degree is what I use now, but I worked at Blackstone and then at Bain, gathering all the professional experiences that I could before joining our family business in 2018. Why I chose to join the family business in 2018 is because I was working till 3 a.m. but for someone else. It was not worth it. It was not worth the time. I think it was great to learn, but if I wanted to derive and make actual value, I'd rather do it for myself. But stepping into Sattva is a real estate firm for those of you who don't know. So stepping into Sattva wasn't just about embracing a new professional role, but it was about confronting and working with people who I've practically grown up with. My father started the firm in 1993 and I was born in 1994. So, so most of the people came before me. But it was important for me to establish my own identity and make a place for myself in this pre-established legacy of mine. But before that, I wanted to have a seat at the table so that I could voice my own opinion. One of my initial endeavors was to start the family office. I'll get to what I come at. I wear different hats at different points of the day, but one of my initial endeavors was to start the family office, a venture that not only broadened our business horizon, but there was money, but I wanted to create wealth, and I was very clear about it. My journey was filled with continuous learning and adapting. I started investing with a firm called Vadam. Have you all heard of Vadam? I used to love the tea, and I got in touch with the founder, Bala, and I said, I want to invest in you. I really like the company. And he said, how old are you? And I said, I'm 25, but I'll get over it. I like your company. And I did it in 2018. It was at a 12.5 crore valuation at that time. But I just liked the product. I knew that there was something about this founder. It was founder plus plus. So I did that. And many years later, last valuation, 600 crores. But if I didn't have that capital initially, how could I create the wealth that came later? As a 25-year-old, I do not have that capital, but my family did. And my endeavor to my father was that I'll borrow at 12% and I'll return more than that. If I had to raise a VC capital, it had to be, I had to borrow at at least an 18% growth cycle. And how we have to double in 4 years, if not more. And if you're in the startup ecosystem, double in 2 years. So that's a growth rate of 36%. I moved to Bombay in 2020 when I got married, as patriarchy prevails. But I didn't know what I was going to do. I chose to move here because I loved my husband, and I was still setting up Sattva Ventures. Back then it wasn't called Sattva Ventures, it was just called a family office. But I said I'll manage. So I worked from home. But my strength was that I was incredibly good at numbers. I was my financial acumen was very strong, and I'm not ashamed to accept it. So my strength was that. And so I decided to do my MBA at Northwestern after I got married. And I pursued my husband also to go with me. So we both went to Northwestern last year. And each step was, and I promised my father I'll work the whole time. And he said, "Are you mad?" I said, "I'll do it. Don't worry." So I worked from 10 to 2 every single day when I was there. But what that did is that it gave me confidence that I could do anything that I said. I knew that I had to stay up at nights. I knew I would be sleeping less. But it gave me a lot of confidence. So what I want, the biggest takeaway from me is that if I have resilience and if I have the perseverance to do it, I would do it. So today, as I share experiences with you, I'm not here to only share the experiences or the success of our family office, but I also wanted to share a journey that's filled with challenges, the triumphs, the invaluable lessons that I learned along the way. But all of this came with privilege. Everything came with privilege. And I want to understand how many of you think that you feel you're privileged? And how many think you understand the meaning or use this privilege well? And how many of you feel that you are guilty of having this privilege? I do. And I'll share why. Because I got a platform that a lot of people didn't have. But as women, we always need that extra oomph to start, because the society for all this while has said that we cannot do it. So when we get that backing, I think we should just jump at that opportunity and say, why not? And I'll tell you, I'll prove you wrong many years later. Moreover, financial privilege comes with personal advantage. It's an opportunity to create a wider impact. It's about not flaunting your wealth or recognizing the opportunity or the security that it provides. It does. But it also gives the platform to empower other women, to mentor other female entrepreneurs, or to invest in women-led startups. I think there's a staggering number. Only 4% of Indian startups led by women raise capital. And we talk about the Mama Earths and the Nykas of the world, but we don't talk about everyone else who didn't raise capital or were not confident enough to raise capital. And remember that not everyone has to start from the same line in life. Our financial advantages come with the responsibility to emphasize and support each other who don't come from the same background. But as women, we all have specific strengths. I would give you a strong example of Elon Musk. Did all of you know that he comes from a lineage that his father owned an emerald mine in South Africa? And that's where he got his starting capital to start PayPal. And now with PayPal, with Tesla, with SpaceX, it's all a testament of work ethic and risk-taking. But this shows that financial backing in entrepreneurship is important. Money comes, but it doesn't matter where it comes from. I know a lot of women who are guilty to take money from parents or from a husband. It's the starting stage. आप शुरू नहीं करोगे तो खत्म कब होगा? However, this privilege comes with profound responsibility. And reflecting on my own journey, I understand that having a strong support system not only gave me a seat at the table, but it gave me a seat at the table that would have taken me years to reach. But now that I got the seat of that table, I have to use it. If I didn't use it, then it doesn't matter. So in my personal journey, what I have done is I mentor 2 people every year who I start at the age of 16. And 16 to 18 to help them get through college, help them think through what they want to do at college, and then do something or create an initiative that they're passionate about after college. But mentoring these people gives me a sense of satisfaction that I'm creating opportunities for people who do not have the same background that I did. In my journey at Sattva Ventures, I give a key emphasis to financial acumen. I strongly encouraging reading Financial Times, WSJ, The Economist. But there's one book that really had a profound impact on me, and that was One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch, where he talks about you don't have to be a maths wizard to understand finance. It's nothing so complicated. If you go around even in Bombay, if you see, like that we see so much construction happening. If we open Money Control and see the valuations of all these companies, obviously it is important to recognize how we go from revenue to bottom line, but we'll see that these companies are eventually 7 years later going to give you the product. So investing in those companies that you see all around you will create wealth or will create money that eventually will give that 12% that I borrowed from my dad. So applying my MBA in finance and leveraging my experience on investment planners, I've steered the family office not only towards financial growth, but also to empower women in senior roles within Sattva and also otherwise. In our journey that realms around finance and privilege, open dialogue, transparency, and being indispensable is important to understand that we want to fit in an equitable financial landscape. It's about being privileged, and especially for women to be with women in the entrepreneurial world. Financial independence isn't just about making decisions, but it gives a sense of confidence. It empowers us to voice our opinions, fueling our professional and personal growth. It enables us to act decisively and empowering other women in business. For example, if I know I can make 100 rupees today, but if I invest 100 rupees and I can make 150 tomorrow, I have 50 rupees of disposable income that I can invest. I can spend 10 rupees, but I can invest the 40 rupees back into the business and grow faster. Yes, we want to achieve the scale by the third party, but we have to have initial capital where we begin. And where that privilege comes from doesn't matter. But how we choose to use that privilege is important. And a world where success is not an individual achievement, but a collective achievement is what we should strive for. So let's gear up, focus on our strengths, and just maybe by having some amount of advantage, we can make the world less worrisome than it already is. So ladies, I would tell you, focus on your strengths, because that's what will get you even higher.